Hi. Imagine that you're married to a man who promises you good things. He says that he will make your life easy if you simply obey him. And of course, if you're a Christian, you have no choice but to obey him. According to the Bible, women are to be submissive to their husbands and obey their husbands in everything, like a slave. So you work hard to keep a good house and make your husband happy. You cook and clean and take care of the children and always have a welcoming smile on your face when your husband arrives home from work. You put your husband first in everything and never say an unkind word to him, always praising him to your friends. And your husband is very good to you. You have a big fancy house with 5 bedrooms and you have the nicest car in the neighborhood. You enjoy a swimming pool and all the latest gadgets. And you take 2 or 3 vacations a year. Your life is blissful. It's everything you ever dreamt it could be. Unfortunately, your husband's brother wants you to. He always has. And one day, unbeknownst to you, your brother-in-law is chatting with your husband over some beer and pretzels. And out of the blue, your husband says, "Have you thought about trying to seduce my wife?" Of course, your brother-in-law is shocked. He says, "What? I mean, how could I? You've put a hedge around her with how you treat her. Take away all the fine things you've given her and she'll turn to me." And your loving husband, whom you trust with all your heart, says to your brother-in-law, "Take it all away. Do whatever you want. Just don't kill her." Yes, your beloved husband basically makes a bet with his brother that you will continue to love and obey him and be happy no matter how badly he allows his brother to treat you. Your husband is quite puffed up by this fact. So your brother-in-law, not wanting you to know he's the perpetrator, because then you'd never turn to him, sends a man into your house who takes away your vacuum cleaner. You tell your husband, who, by the way, is, as we've seen, filthy rich, and you ask for a new vacuum. Nothing big, you're not greedy. You'd be happy with a $20 vacuum cleaner, just something to help you continue to keep the house clean for your dear husband. You make your request sweet and loving. You say, "Dear husband, my Lord, would you please grant me my wish? I request a cheap vacuum cleaner so I can use it to glorify you and make our home a nice place where people will see how good you are to me." And what does your husband do? He just sits there in his easy chair and keeps reading his newspaper. He doesn't even look up to acknowledge that you're in the room, let alone to respond to you. But that's okay. You feel it in your heart that he heard you. And you believe that he loves you and will grant your request because you know a vacuum cleaner is something you need if you're to be a good wife and keep a good home. So you expect to have a vacuum cleaner soon. After all, your husband always told you that all you have to do is ask and he'll give you your heart's desire. However, not only does your husband not buy you the vacuum cleaner, but the next thing you know, a man comes and takes your broom too. Your husband, of course, still requires you to keep the carpet clean. That's a must. So now, without a broom, you get down on your hands and knees and pick up all the dirt and paper and mess that you can, and you go submissively to your husband and ask for another broom. But again, your husband acts as if he doesn't even hear your request. He doesn't notice how hard you work or the pain you're in. Why is he behaving this way? You don't know, but you don't question it. Next, your brother-in-law has the man take your heating and cooling system. He takes your car, so you have to walk to the grocery store every day. You tell your husband, but again, he just reads or watches TV and ignores you. Things just keep getting worse. Your brother-in-law has all your furniture removed, and you have to sit on the floor. I should say that all of this theft has taken place right in front of your husband. Still, you don't complain about your losses or the fact that your husband is willing to allow it all to happen. You simply request that your husband do something about it, but sadly, your husband never acknowledges you or your requests. Finally, and unbelievably, a man shows up one morning and again, right in front of both you and your husband, murders all of your children as they are sitting on the floor eating their breakfast. The man then proceeds to put out his cigarettes on your face, his cigarette on your face, and cuts you in various places in the very presence of your husband. But your husband just sits there and watches. You are devastated. You're emotionally and physically a wreck. Still, you say nothing unkind to your husband. You are faithful to him through it all, never opening your mouth to complain, even when your friends tell you that it's your fault and you must have done something wrong for your good husband to treat you so badly. And your dear mother, bless her heart, she's beside herself. Curse him and get out of that house, your mother begs you. But you refuse to leave. Finally, after your husband is satisfied that he has won the bet with his brother, your husband stops allowing your brother-in-law to harm you and let you heal. He buys back better furniture and a nicer car and double everything you had, and says y'all can have more children, which of course he foolishly believes will take away all the pain from the children he allowed his brother to kill. Your husband knows that you will be faithful no matter what. He actually knew it all the time. But he enjoyed seeing his brother try to cause you to stop loving him and obeying him. It made him feel special to be able to watch you suffer, knowing you'd never blame him or turn to his brother. Yes, you were faithful through this. Extremely faithful, in fact, when you really had no reason to be. Your husband, on the other hand, was not. We can all see that, can't we? Well, the ever-faithful Job had this same attitude toward Yahweh. He said that even if Yahweh slew him, he would still trust Yahweh. That's a lot of trust right there. I doubt many people have that kind of faith and trust, and nobody should. We all know, though, how Job's trust and faithfulness worked out for him. We know how Yahweh repaid Job's faithfulness. He turned his back on Job. He handed Job over to Satan. He destroyed Job, taking his children and his property and causing him to be sick and generally making his life miserable. Now, Yahweh had promised Job good things. Yahweh declared that he blesses those who love and obey him and doesn't allow evil to come their way. Even weapons can't harm the servants of Yahweh, or so he says. But he lied. Still, Job was faithful to Yahweh, as faithful as anyone could be. Yahweh, however, was not faithful to Job. Yahweh broke his covenant with Job. Yahweh betrayed Job. He betrayed Job's love and faithfulness. Yahweh didn't deserve the devotion Job gave him. Yahweh was a Satan to Job. He was Job's enemy. The tale of Job, which I guess some think is a beautiful story, exhibits the complete faithfulness of a human being and the total unfaithfulness of the God the human being served. That's what we learn from this narrative. We cannot and should not trust the God of the Bible. He will, according to his own story here, turn his back on us in a heartbeat for his own selfish pleasure. If this story were true, if the Bible itself were true, nobody in their right mind should ever want to worship such a deity. It's baffling that the Abrahamic religions have existed as long as they have. I wish I could live to see their demise. What a wonderful world that would be. Thank you for watching. Bye.